So, welcome to my presentation. My name is Zama Anya B. Fogway. Today I'll be presenting on how homemade or commercially bought masks compared to professional masks. That is the mask for professional healthcare workers. Before I start, I would like to say thank you to the judges for taking out time from your day to basically look over my project. So let's start with the introduction. So masks are a very effective tool against the spread of infected droplets. And in my case, what I'm studying is basically as it relates to the COVID-19 virus. So the question this experiment tried to answer was how homemade masks or commercially bought masks compared to surgical and other professionally made masks. So unlike homemade masks, um, surgical and N95 masks are made of non-woven fabric and polymer. This construct was said to more than 90%, allow for a more than 90% filtering capacity. So as a result, this research focused on verifying how well the masks really filtered droplets. So the end goal was to verify whether masks are a safe bet against COVID and which masks would work best in helping protect people. So basically, my main drive and focus for pursuing this this lane of research basically was because around the start of the pandemic, people didn't really pay attention to what mask was important, what mask is more effective. People just sort of picked up whatever they found first in the store or whatever they thought was stylish. So I was trying to test out which mask people should use. So basically the materials and methods for this project was a box that was created with a camera at one end and hold for a spray bottle at the other. Secondly, a laser was put into the box and spread into a sheet to expose the droplets to a camera so pictures could be taken. So this was taken from an experiment by a scientist called Fisher. Um, s- um, Basically, we tried to emulate a lot of the same things he could, but we couldn't emulate everything he did. He had a special software he used. We didn't have access to that, so we um we we had to use our eyes. We had to count, the droplets by hand, basically. We also didn't use a cell phone camera like he used. We used a DSLR camera because we found that the settings on a cell phone camera um, wouldn't be as effective for what we were trying to do. So after the pictures were taken, they were sorted into either the mask subgroups or the control. After all the data was compiled and sorted, we compared the data sets to each other in order to create our conclusion. So data gathered from the experiment showed that masks were very effective. Cloth masks were shown to filter about 98% of the droplets um, released from the control on average. So all these numbers, we after the trials were done, we averaged them out and we basically divided the experimental group by the control group and multiplied by 100 to get basically what percentage of each experimental group blocked um, the percentage of you know that was seen in the positive control. So um, on the surgical mask was shown to block about 99.5% of these droplets on average, while the N95 masks were the most effective because they blocked every droplet, 100% of the droplets. So according to the results, all the masks were very effective. They were very effective. The hypothesis going into this was that surgical masks would be on par with N95 masks. That was proven to be slightly false. On average, wearing no mask revealed about 59.33 droplets, while wearing a surgical mask showed about 0.33 droplets. However, there were no droplets shown for the N95 mask. On the other hand, cloth masks were expected to be less effective. than they actually proved to be. They blocked 98%, which is very close to the 99.5% and 100% by the cloth masks. So the future research should focus on a wider range of sneezes and coughs to determine if the data is flawed. By this, I mean we should use a variety of sneezes, and we should control for other aspects that might have led to the research maybe being more skewed, or maybe being less effective. So at this point, my presentation has come to an end, and I would just like to give some acknowledgments. I would like to thank Dr. Schuster for helping me a lot throughout my experiment. He's been a great help, a great support. He has been very reliable, and I would also like to thank Ms. Barker for giving me some of the tools that I would need at the beginning of the year, the tools I would need to, basically be able to pursue this experiment. I would also like to say thanks to my mentor, Payman Orang, for all of his useful feedback. I would like to say thank you to all the teachers in McKinley Tech that have, helped me through my education up to this point. I would also like to thank the judges. I would like to thank them for taking their time out to basically take a look at my experiment. And I would just like to, say if anyone has any questions upon viewing this, could probably reach out to me. My